The Florida Eels elite team is looking to finish off this best-of-3 divisional playoff series this afternoon as they can punch their ticket to the USPHL Boston Nationals with a win against the Florida Junior Blades. Happy Sunday and welcome to the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play of the action from Hertz Arena in Estero, Florida. The Junior Blades have been put on the brink of elimination after suffering a 7-2 loss to the Eels this past Friday in Game 1 of the series. If the Eels win today's matchup, it will be the first time since 2016 that their elite team will go to the national tournament. That year, the Eels went all the way to the USPHL Elite Championship game, where they fell short to the Hampton Roads Whalers by a 3-2 score. So it's sure to be a fantastic game on hand for this Sunday afternoon. Before we head off for a break, the Florida Eels junior hockey program would like to thank its sponsors: American Pool and Fountain Service, Southwest Florida Dryer Vent Cleaning, Mike Patrick Electric, Leon Small Engine Service and Repair, as well as Thomas Fanau Jr. MVP Realty Associates. For all your real estate needs, contact Thomas Fanau Jr. at 239-910-2869 or visit his website, TomSellsMoreSWFL.com. The national anthem is just moments away here at Hertz Arena, so we'll step aside, come back afterwards, and then give you the starting lineups as well as the play-by-play of the action with the opening puck drop. You are tuned in to the Florida Eels Broadcast Network for Game 2 of the Florida Divisional Elite Playoff Round. We return to the Florida Eels Broadcast Network after a wonderful rendition of the national anthem, and we are just about ready for the puck drop of Game 2 in this best-of-3 series. We'll start with the Florida Eels on their starting lineup. They're going with Tom Steary in between the pipes, Steary, 18th game in net for him with an 11-3-1 starting record, a .220 goals against average, and a .930 save percentage. Eels also have Jake Court, Gage Dill, and TJ Zebley as your three starting forwards. The pair of starting defensemen, Trevor Voida and Nick Tigges. For the Junior Blades, they've got the three forwards, Colton Adesano, Peyton Kugler, and Eric Peavy. The pair of defensemen, Roland Lopez and Garrett Ewens. Their goaltender is Cole Garver, who we will tell you about on the next stoppage, but the puck is dropped and we are underway. Junior Blades win it back in their own zone to the left wing circle. They skate from left to right across your computer screen. Here in period number 1, from right to left, skate the Eels. Jake Peavy, near circle, whiffs a shot high and dry at Tom Steary, the Florida Eels netminder. Picked up a victory in Game 1 between the pipes as the starter. A 7-2 Florida Eels victory on Friday right here at Hertz Arena. It's Court near side circle, shot batted away by Upez on the blocker, right-hand side. Now spread up to the left wing half wall. Nick Tigges jamming it up at the point. Released back out to center here by Kotler, and Tigges dumps it right back on in as he heads off for the first line change of the game. Taking his spot out on the ice is Quintal. Also Zebley heading off. An exchange for Justice Shelkin. Out the center ice here, it's Matthew Barron. Barron gets cut off down to the enemy near hash marks, and dancing away with it is Cade Swigert. Swigert to the left point. Has it batted out of the way by Kotler, and a delayed offside is on the way against the Eels. Junior Blades taking it the other way. Garrett Thompson backhands into the Junior Blades end zone. Collision behind the net involving Matthew Barron and Georgie Samudelkin, the Eels' hard-hitting defenseman. Puck spread out to center here for Alex Quintal. One-touch pass up the far side dasher. And up to the left point here for Samudelkin. Mason Meyer out to center. Takes it back across the blue line near side and between the rings now. And Kotler dumps it down the length of the rink. Icing called here against Junior Blades. That's the first stoppage in this hockey game. 18:05 to go in the first. 0-0 score between the Elite Eels and the Florida Junior Blades. And of course, fans, I ask that you please bear with me as I work with half a voice here today. But Game 2 of the playoffs, and Always an exciting day. Eels with the chance to advance to Boston with a victory here today. Junior Blades can force a Game 3 with a win. Meanwhile, right circle, turnaround shot by Mason Meyer. Rings it off of the backboards and up the left wing dasher for Sozio up at the point. Sozio with a slap shot and rescuing it off of the left-hand side is Cole Garver. And speaking of the netminder Garver, this is his 24th game in net this season. He holds a .418-0 starting record coming into the game, a .572 goals against average, and an .898 save percentage. Altieri and Tigges heading out onto the rink here, left circle. Junior Blades win the draw in their own zone. They quickly deliver it out the center. Carlisle gets rammed up on by Hamilton out at center ice near side boards. Voida back around the end wall here for Tigges. Tigges up the near glass and eventually out the center for Corey Altieri. Altieri banks it down near corner for Camden Hamilton. Backhanded pass here for Altieri. Altieri up to the near point for Trevor Voida. Voida cruising in, tipped out in front between the rings by Corey Altieri, and nothing works that time around. Big scrum for it up on the right wing half wall, and things are really getting heated. Officials keep the play rolling down to the near goal line now. Hits are breaking out harder than ever. Voida swings it across the blue line near side to the far boards. Down to the right corner, and a penalty is on the way as there is a collision right in front of the cage. Now Altieri throwing some punches back and forth with Zimros, but the officials will quickly subside that one. 16:46 to go in the first. 0-0 is your score. And now we have a little bit of a break in the action here as heading to the sin bin for the Junior Blades. That appears to be Ashton King. And we do have a verification. It is indeed King who got involved in those theatrics right after the whistle blew. So the Eels heading to the power play, their first man advantage of the hockey game. Eels on the power play percentage coming into the game. They're at 36.6%. That's the second best power play unit in the Florida division. Junior Blades on the PK rate. They're at 48.3 coming into the game. Left circle. Eels working it around in the attacking zone. Cade Swiger with a turnaround wrist shot coming from the high slot. Doesn't get anywhere close to Cole Garver. And now TJ Zebley swords it out of his own zone for Gage Dill. Now Dill recoils back in the Eels' own ice as he gets pressured up by Colton Adesano around the end glass. Now up the near boards for Court. Court down to the left circle. Eels' end zone runs out of real estate at the goal line as this continues to be a very hard-hitting physical game. Cade Swigert around the net, up to the right point for TJ Zebley. Zebley rink-wide feed over for Dill. Dill near side shot, and that's taken right off the chest of Lopez. Right circle now for Zebley. Zebley tilts it around the net, back up top for Dill at the blue line, left wing side. Now Zebley, right circle, give and go for Court. Court with a shot on, and Garver continues to remain smooth under pressure. Clearance made by the Junior Blades with 48 seconds to go. Here on the floor, the Eels power play, yet again the first violation of the game for either team. It's Gage Dill, far circle with a shot. That one high, dry, and over the glass as the whistle blows. Now 4.5 minutes into regulation, no score to report. Here in Game 2 of this best-of-3 playoff divisional series, Eels lead the series 1-0 after a 7-2 win this past Friday right here at Hertz Arena. To the left side of Garver we go. Ryan Boyd leaning into the face-off circle for the Eels. Comes up short for Barron. Now it's Tigges straddling the blue line. Goes up the far boards, dropping it down to the corner. Went rink wide, nobody home. Now Voida popping it up. Gone a little bit of a collision there with Kugler. Setting it free is Boyd. Boyd now elevating it up the left wing dasher. Out in front with a point-blank shot by Georgie Samadolkin. And the net came off of the pegs far side of Cole Garver. 15 seconds to go here on the Florida Eels power play. Boyd versus Barron yet again on the far hash. Dropped on up left point. Tigges smashing it, and he rims it up to the far half wall for Trevor Voida all alone. Voida wanders it down to the corner. Chops it in front, and it's smacked down the length of the rink by Peyton Kugler as we go back to 5-on-5. Ashton King out of the sin bin for the Junior Blades. He heads on to the Junior Blades benches. This is an incomplete pass going down far, and Junior Blades own ice. Gerard gets rammed into it, center ice by Trevor Voida, and the Florida Eels fan section appreciates that as they sit in the stands off to the right side of my broadcast position here at center ice. Now it's Boyd pivoting the puck around his own goaltender, Tom Steary. Sliced on up right point for Cutler, and Cutler banging it on down to the goal line. Tigges intervenes, chopped in front for Gerard. Save made. A dangerous play there for the Eels defense. But the defensemen are there to take down the situation. Meanwhile, they fail to clear it. It's Cutler, far hash with a shot going wide off to the left side of Tom Steary. 5-1 are the shots on goal thus far here in the favor of the Eels. Now it's Mason DeMeyer, far circled, putting on some quick moves past the defenseman, getting some more oohs and ahs from the fans. And DeMeyer now heads off after firing over the cage. Eels now back in their own zone. It's Ian Frizz to the right circle. Frizz going long for Marita out at the center line. Goes along for Stewart to the right corner. For end wall now. Stewart getting held up by Peavy. Wrap around in front of the net. And Kugler is there to intercept it. Drop pass for Lopez. Far side dasher. And Junior Blades mash it to center. Right circle now. It's Stewart. And the Eels' own zone. Played far corner. And able to take it down the rest of the rink is Daniel Marita, the Florida Eels forward, a Fort Myers product on this team. 12:47 to go in the first, 0-0 score. Peavy at the center line, going up the far glass. Banks it over the head of Sam Adelkin, and Peavy gave Sam Adelkin a punch to the face. And a whistle comes immediately afterwards. Let's see if a penalty is called. I didn't see the hand go up for the officials. And now a lot of tensions are breaking out. Adesano and Corey Altieri chirping back and forth in front of the team benches off to the far side of my broadcast position. Eels sitting off to my right, Junior Blades to the left. And that leads us into a little bit of confusion and yet another stoppage. So from the looks of it, no penalty is called, although the Eels benches went badly after Sam Adelkin took that punch from Peavy on the right-hand side. 4 boards. Dill forking it for Sam Adelkin as he remains on the ice, and he settles out for TJ Zebley down the gut of the opposing blue line. Now it's Court recoiling to his own ice. Right circle for Sam Adelkin. Sam Adelkin takes it up the opposite side through the end glass and back out to center. It's a pop-up for TJ Zebley in front of the Junior Blades bench. Big hit there. Sam Adelkin takes down that appears to be Adesano, and he is all sorts of fired up. Adesano, those two go their separate ways. That's actually Halleck who is locked up with Sam Adelkin. Halleck tries to rough up Sam Adelkin at center. It doesn't work. And Halleck keeps going back to Sam Adelkin behind the play. But what a wild game it's been in the opening moments. Almost at the halfway marker of the first period. 11:40 to go until the intermission. 0-0 is your score. Shots on goal. Still 5-1. And the momentum of the Eels. Right half wall for Elenoff. Elenoff banking in front of the cage, and Halleck intercepts it from there. Zebley quickly gets it on back, pushes it up to the right point for Voida. And it's spread to center for Ashton King of the Junior Blades. Right circle for King. Dropped down to the right corner. He's roughed up against the glass by Alec Elenoff. Elenoff, a hybrid player, going as both a forward and a defenseman throughout the season with the Eels. Playing as a forward here today. Left circle, plopped on to Garver, coming off the right-handed shot of Alec Elenoff. And now the Eels are facing it back in their own ice. Down to the left corner, Junior Blades with a big hit coming of their own. Getting roughed up is Hamilton, and lowering the boom into him was Michael Zimros, and now those two are fighting in front of the net. They're trying to get the gloves off, and now Hamilton takes down Zimros. What an incredible tilt that was. And the Eels benches explode, the fans explode. And Zimros, he loves well. He's just trying to fire up his team. That very well may be the end of the day for both of those men. Zimros is waiting by the penalty box. But fighting is a no-no in the USPHL. It results in a ejection as well as a one-game suspension afterwards. And now it appears that somebody's injured down there in the left circle. I'm trying to see who it is. It's not Hamilton. Looks like that's actually Elenoff, who's a little shaken up right now. Skating back to the Eels bench, doubled over in pain. Well, that fires up this game for sure, to the fans, to the players. Zimros and Hamilton yet again really adding some fireworks here with 10:40 to go in the first 0-0 score. And right now, Zimros and Hamilton are going to the penalty box. Those two jawing back and forth with one another. Also joining Zimros in the penalty box is Dylan Thompson. And this is all sorts of berserk right here. 10:40 to go in the first. We'll step aside. 0-0 score here on Elite Hockey. This is the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. 0-0 score, 10:40 to go in the first of this elite hockey game, as the Florida Junior Blades are ready to head to a 2-minute power play after we had quite the Donnybrook back in the Junior Blades own zone. Michael Zimros and Caden Hamilton of the Eels locked up in a brief fight. They weren't able to get the gloves off, but the officials surprisingly let them go at it. Hamilton and Zimros right now in the penalty box. Wasserberg has been taken out with a 10-minute misconduct for the Junior Blades. Same can be said for the Eels, Alec Elenoff. And now we see Dylan Shabolt heading in for the Eels. And I believe that's for Alec Elenoff, who went back to the locker room. So Shabolt takes his place, and now we keep saying updates to the scoreboard. Right now it says 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. Originally it said a power play for the Junior Blades. And this is unbelievable. Frank Scarpacci, the Eels general manager, absolutely ripping into somebody in the penalty box, whether it's his own players or at the scorer's table. I don't know, but things have broken loose. Here at Hertz Arena is back to play we go. Yet again 4-on-4. For the next minute, 50 seconds. Jake Court back in his own zone. Right hash. Drops it opposite side at the far corner for Georgie Samadelkin. Now Cade Swigert in the nearest circle. Back behind the net for Samadelkin. Samadelkin looking long as Eric Peavy is guarding him up in front of the net. Now spilled to center for Court. Court to the far circle. Shot and a goal! Jake Court scores on the 4-on-4, and the Eels draw first blood with 10:06 to go in period number 1. You hear the passion of the Eels fans in attendance. You've got to love it. This is technically a road game for the Florida Eels, and it's a very interesting situation because this game's being played at Hertz Arena, the home of the Florida Junior Blades. But the Eels are the designated home team here today as they came in as the number 2 seed in the Florida division. Number 3 were the Florida Junior Blades. So, Eels are the home team on the scoreboard, but they are playing at the home of the Blades. So just to clear up some confusion there, but nonetheless, these Eels fans have traveled half an hour south of downtown Fort Myers to come down to Estero and watch their team on the road, so to speak. You gotta love it. Meanwhile, it's Gage Dill cruising into the end zone. Left circle with a backhander on. And it's taken off of the chest of Garver. Far corner, Voida stripping it away off the tape of Pinkerton. Wrapped around the net up towards the far post. Switching directions is Voida. Plastered in front for Tigges, down in the low slot. And now out to center for Pinkerton. In front of the Eels benches, far side he goes. Gives a little shove to Dill after the clearance. 28 seconds ago of 4-on-4 hockey. And now Tigges behind the net of the Eels, Tom Steary. He just absolutely rocks Matthew Barron. And with every blow, the crowd just goes wild. It's Gage Dill. Left side of the opposing blue line, goes opposite end, dropping it down to the right corner for Ian Frizz. That flops over his stick and back up the opposing end. Halfway marker near hash for Lopez. Lopez marking it up to the point for Tigges. Tigges relays it for Dill in front of the high slot. Shot, and that's taken to the breadbasket of the goaltender Cole Garver for the Florida Junior Blades. 1-0 Eels lead, 8:32 to go in the first. Alex Sanchez, the head coach of the Eels, definitely staying busy on the benches, especially with all that has happened as of late with the physicality and the misconducts going to various players. It certainly has been something. Now backhander here for Cade Swigert. Washes back around the end boards. Well, Alex Sanchez said that him and the team spent yesterday regrouping and examining a different game plan for today to keep the Junior Blades guessing. He said that these Blades are a tough squad who never quits, and he knows that their coaches Todd Pocock and Tyler Carlston are looking to rebound and avenge their Game 1 loss. This one shipped out in front by Eric Peavy, Junior Blades end zone, and the butterfly to stop it is Tom Steary. 9-3, now the shots on goal going to the Eels, and front for Shelton. Couldn't drive it to the top shelf, upper right corner of the net. Back to the Eels' own ice. Far corner for Hamilton. Make that Gerard of the Junior Blades. He got ran into far corner by Corey Altieri. Altieri out to center ice. Dangling it past Thompson to the left wing dasher. Gets across the Junior Blades blue line, and that's as far as he gets as the puck is pinned up at the left point. Now Daniel Marita sauces a shot on from the center line of the ice. And the Eels get another mass change out onto the rink. Alex Quintal getting out there right circle. Georgie Samadelkin doing the same. Now far circle for Marita. Marita on his own ice. Shimmies it to center, and eventually coast to coast he goes, where he's not able to get the shot off to the near post. Backhander going to DeMeyer, left wing circle. Shot gets taken off of the right leg of Garver. Rebound from DeMeyer as he came swinging in. And now the cover up here by Garver after Quintal came rushing his way on in. Zimros and Hamilton have both came out of the penalty boxes after their scrum they had earlier on in period 1. Zimros goes straight into the action. Hamilton to the Eels bench with this faceoff coming near side and the Eels end zone. Right wing half wall. King gets rocked by Georgie Samadelkin, and King is shaken up. Penalty coming up against Samadelkin of the Eels, and Samadelkin's roughing everyone up. Everyone in sight. He pins Zimros into the Florida Eels bench, and now Samadelkin takes his spot in the sin bin. This is the first power play of the game for the Florida Eels. Make that the Junior Blades Coming into the power play percentage, they're at 40.7%. That's the best power play unit in the Florida division. Eels on the PK rate, they're at 70.7 as of this Sunday afternoon. 6:25 to kill here in the first. 1-0 Eels lead. We have a little bit of halt in the action as the Junior Blades have some line change confusion. Getting out there for them is Eric Peavy, Garrett Ewens, and Dylan Thompson with this face-off coming right side of Tom Steary, the Florida Eels netminder. Now right corner for Voida. Voida taking it 360 around the net. Backhanded up to the right half wall for Thompson. Thompson has it placed in between his skates by Zebley out the center. And it's an elbowing call against Georgie Samudelkin, according to the Hertz Arena public address system. Now it's Thompson, right point, trying to transform it down to the half wall. Now swings it across the blue line for Ewens. Ewens' shot could not get onto the net as TJ Zebley took it off of the right skate. Now far corner for Ewens. Ewens chipping it up to the right point for Thompson. Thompson slicing it in between the circles, and from there, able to get the turnover of Zebley down the rink. It's a breakaway for Court with a shot, and a save coming due the far post. Play remains alive, and then the net came off far end for Cole Garver. 1:09 to go on to Junior Blades power play. 5:33 to go in the first. 1-0 Eels lead. Lone goal of the first came from Jake Court on a 4-on-4 opportunity. The players meet out in the neutral zone, red dot far end in front of the Junior Blades bench. Eels looking into attacking real estate here. And it's spun up to Gerard, center line, near glass. Goes opposite end into the attacking end for the Junior Blades as he had Gerard out in front. Gerard couldn't drive it home. Tigges lowers the boom into Gerard, near corner, and Cade Swiger comes chugging with the puck out to center with a 2-on-2. To his left, it's Dill. Side swipe there for Dill, and Dill goes all the way back out to center for Anthony Sozio far end, as the Eels still have 36 seconds to go on their power play. Now center rink for Zimros. Zimros back to his own near circle. Stashes it ahead out to center for Gerard. And now Gerard is off to the races near hash with a slap shot saved by Steary as he closed the 5-hole. And it's reserved back up to the far point. Puck goes back out to the neutral zone and across the blue line. So TJ Zebley gets in front, and he's trying to tip it away. Now Carlisle rams into Zebley to the right point and back out to center. The Junior Blades take it from there. Now Samudelkin out with a penalty box, and it's a 5-on-5 hockey game yet again with Samudelkin getting straight out onto the ice. Voida behind the cage. Up the far goal line for Boyd. Boyd can't get it out to center, and now the Junior Blades are called with a delayed offside. Ryan Boyd in front of the penalty box board, stashes it on in behind the net of Cole Garver. Now played up to the far corner for Ewens. Ewens gets involved in a 2-on-2 battle. Stewart comes out with the puck. And now a wraparound attempt comes by Shulkin near post, close but no cigar. Now far circle, rink wide for DeMeyer, and he hits the top crossbar. That keeps us a 1-0 Eels lead. Right corner, played in front off the redirect by Anthony Sozio, and Sozio goes back behind the net for Stewart. Stewart with the centering feed. He had Shulkin in front, and now Halleck kills the Eels' offensive momentum. To the right corner, he smuggles it. Stewart loses his stick on a scramble there with Halleck. Halleck now heading off to the Junior Blades bench as we have an offside call on the way against the Eels. 3 minutes to go in the first, 1-0 Eels lead. Well, game one was very fascinating with the penalties as well. Back on Friday night, the Eels put 9 penalties on the score sheet compared to the Junior Blades' 5 violations. No power play goals were scored by either team in the first game of this best-of-3 series, where the Eels once again lead 1-0. Now Sam Elkin behind the net of Tom Steery for the Florida Eels. He spins past Garver, and that gets another positive reaction from the Florida Eels fans in attendance. Now it's Quintal. Center ice line, near glass. Now it's shipped out to the right circle, Junior Blades own ice, where Gerard relieves at the center for Georgie Samudelkin of the Eels. He goes rink wide, near glass for Hamilton, who's called offside next. Well, with Friday's Game 1 victory for the Eels, they now have won 10 consecutive games against the Junior Blades this season. But last year, things were the exact opposite. And the 2017-18 season, the Junior Blades beat the Eels 10 times out of 13 games. So it really comes to show how first-year head coach Alex Sanchez came in and turned things around within the Eels organization. Now back out neutral zone, Eels holding it with Sam Elkin. Sam Elkin smuggles it for boards for Zebley. Zebley with the incomplete pass. Gets banged back behind the net of the Junior Blades. Played up to the left point from the near end wall. Now it's Quintal having it sorted away by TJ Gerard. One-touch pass up against the Florida Eels pitches. And now it goes to the Eels goaltender Steery. Steery sets it up near end of the goal line for Sam Elkin. Sam Elkin smashes it to center for Jake Court. Court simultaneously runs into Kotler. Out at the middle line. Now it's Dill to the right circle, gets shaken up after he's sandwiched between a pair of defensemen. And those men were Ashton King and Kotler, able to lower the boom onto Gage Dill there. Meanwhile, out the center, Junior Blades have something rolling. A 3-on-3 to the far circle. And that's taken high over the left-hand glove of Tom Steery. Now back up far point for Zebley. He relieves it to center for Court. Up the near glass. Now left circle, Eels end zone, played up and out over the glass with the deflection pass coming from Jake Court. 1:10 to go in the first now. 1-0 Eels. And you expected a lot of redemption coming into this one from the Junior Blades after that Eels blowout victory in Game 1. Left corner, Junior Blades win it, and they smack it to center ice. Getting tripped up is Kugler on the tape of Mason DeMeyer. No call is made. Now left corner, played up the near boards for Peavy out to center. 2-on-1 for the Blades. Far circle for Adesano, shot in front. Steery with a save, rebound in front. Ewens looking for the third chance, and with a glove save by Steery, but he can't hold on. Play remains alive. Far half wall, DeMeyer gets locked up with Adesano. Now right corner is where the puck is played. Swatted in front by Kugler, couldn't find Peavy open for the centering feed. Now Kugler up the far boards. Taken out the center here on the backhand feed by Boyd, as he was able to sauce it out to center for Jake Peavy. Cade Swigert to his own right circle. We approach the final 10 seconds of period number 1. Hogging it behind his own net is Ian Frizz. 3 seconds to go in the first, and that does it for period number 1. After 20 minutes of regulation, your score, the Florida Eels 1 and the Junior Blades 0 here in Elite Action Game 2 of this playoff series. Eels yet again with a win today. They can clinch it all. A spot to Boston for the USPHL National Tournament. Junior Blades with a win here today. They can force a Game 3 tomorrow for the series tiebreaker. But we'll step aside and come back with the start of period number 2. You are tuned in to the Florida Eels Broadcast Network from Hertz Arena in Estero, Florida. We are back and ready to go for the start of period number 2 here in this elite battle between the Florida Eels and the Tampa Bay Juniors. Make that Florida Junior Blades 1-0 Eels lead over the Junior Blades. Fans, for all your real estate needs, contact Thomas Vanau Jr. at MVP Realty Associates. That's 239-910-2869. Or visit his website, TomSellsMoreSWFL.com. Junior Blades have it taken back in their own zone to the far circle. Eels win the opening draw as they skate from left to right across their computer screen here in the middle stanza of regulation. From right to left skates the Blades, as now it's Adesano cruising his way down left wing side of the goaltender Tom Steary for the Eels. And he puts glove to puck for the first blow of the whistle here in period 2, just 23 seconds in. Eels looking to extend their 1-goal advantage. Yet again, Eels with a win here today, they can advance to the USPHL National Tournament in Boston. Junior Blades with a victory here today. They can force a Game 3 tomorrow afternoon between the Eels and Blades. So far, circle it's Peavy. Peavy rifles one out in front of the Junior Blades attacking zone. Doesn't reach on the Steer. Is taking it off of the left-hand side is Cade Swigert. Swigert marching it down to the enemy ice for the Eels. Backhander on by Georgie Samadelkin for circle, and that goes off of the crossbar. Cade Swigert again with a shot, and it's taken off the right hand of the goaltender Garver. Now 1 minute into the second. For point, from there it's Georgie Samadelkin. Samadelkin goes rink wide over for Sozio, but the pass is picked off at the midway marker by Colton Adesano. Now Adesano and Sozio clash sticks at each other, and Sozio stays on the ice. Meanwhile, the other man heads off for the Junior Blades. Left circle, Eels own zone for Gerard. Popped out in front. Centering feed was not located, but it was intended to Ewens. Now a little through pass in front for Kotler at the center ice line. Yet again could not be located as Gagedill takes over for the Eels behind the net of Steary. Up the near boards, out to center for Court. Court for a circle, Tapper in front, and it could not be driven home with Zebley out in front of the cage. Lone goal of the game scored by Court thus far, and now it's down to the far corner. Taken up the wall by Zebley. Zebley with a give and go down to the right circle, intended for Nick Tigas, but yet again that doesn't work out. It's Caleb Carlisle out to mid-rink across the Eels' blue line near side, and that's as far as he's going to get it. Lord turn away here by Matthew Barron at the near point. 2-on-2 scramble breaks out. And finally rushed to the neutral zone by TJ Zebley. Far wall in front of the penalty box boards. Dumping it in as Michael Zimros, excuse me there, folks. Now back behind the net is Michael Zimros for Thomas Steary. It's the Junior Blades attacking zone, but able to take it away as Voida to prevent a scoring opportunity for the Junior Blades. Up to the right wing half wall to center ice it trails. Michael Zimros with it. Center line up the near glass. One-touch pass. And it's received by Nick Tigas of the Eels, and they regroup in their own zone. Merida to center ice. Trevor Voida tags it ahead for Court. Court shimmies it aside for Voida off to his left end. Eels now in the end zone. Up to the midpoint. Peavy strips it away to center, and Nick Tigas out races him. And a battle for the unattended puck right in front of the Florida Junior Blades benches. Taking it 360 around the net of Steary. It's Zebley. Zebley in front of the cage for DeMeyer, and Garver banks it down to the right corner. 16:20 to go here in period number 2. 1-0 Eels lead. And now to the right circle, his own ice, it's Georgie Samadelkin, the Eels defenseman. Now we have a fight in front of the net. Merida and Zimros. And Merida just yanked him down. Zimros didn't throw any more punches, and this is a penalty coming up against Daniel Merida. Zimros clapping at him, continuing to taunt. And Michael Zimros, he was taking place in an altercation back in period number 1. You remember, as he has a big tilt against the Florida Eels' Camden Hamilton. That time he gets tangled up with Daniel Merida. And Merida sits down. Power play on the way for the Junior Blades. Face-off far circle and the Junior Blades end zone. Played all the way down the rink here by Nick Tigas. It's a roughing call going against Merida. Now it's Ewens, near side of the blue line. Ewens shimmies it to center. Outletted by PV, give and go for Adesano, and nothing more comes there as DeMeyer swats it away and back down to Junior Blades territory. 1:24 to go here on the floor. The Eels penalty kill. This is their second one of the hockey game. Make that 1-for-1 thus far when it comes to breaking down the Junior Blades power play. Now it's PV in front, slots it wide off to the right side of the cage of Steery. DeMeyer takes it back down the rink. And now 1 minute to go on the Junior Blades power play. Right corner now for Barron. Barron all the way down for Ewens. Right circle shot in front by PV. And the Eels had more than plenty of defensive reinforcements out in front. To Karamet wide and down to the far corner. Back up the opposing side. Left wing half wall here. Eels stuck in their own ice. Now played back behind the net by Zimros. Up to the right point. Shredded back down for PV at the goal line. Far side and a cover by Tom Steery. 14:32 to go in the second. 1-0 Eels. 31 seconds ago on the Eels, a penalty kill for Daniel Merida in the sin bin. Big opportunity here for the Florida Eels today as they look to advance to Boston along with their premier brethren. More on the next stoppage as here's Matthew Barron to the near corner. Slotted up the gut by Zimros here out the center. Now Zimros left circle. Played in front, and that was an ugly hit. Jake Court and Matthew Barron with a knee-to-knee collision. And now we have a big scrum down to the left circle. Jake Court is down, clearly hurt. And this is where things get ugly. Sozio's shoving with a man. That appears to be Ewens. And all heck is broken loose. Gerard trying to drop the gloves here with Sozio, and the official jumps in the way of that. And this is just awful. Now they're calling for the trainer. And this is just terrible. Jake Court, arguably the best player on this Eels team. He was top 2 and make that top 3 in scoring in the USPHL Elite. And now he has to be helped off of the ice by 3 different teammates. Sam Adelkin, Zebley, and Frizz. Eels benches are just absolutely fuming, and rightfully so. It was just a careless hit there. It was knee to knee between Matthew Barron and Jake Court. And Barron, he came out of it all just fine. And now Zimros is taken out of the game. He's escorted back to the locker room. Eels fans in attendance just pleading for some sort of call. We've seen that end seasons before. That same knee-to-knee hit. It's the same knee-to-knee collision which took out Clement Espinosa, the Florida Eels premier athlete, back in October. He hasn't been cleared to compete since. And now you have something like this go down to arguably the very best player and the brightest on this Florida Eels squad. Just absolutely awful. And you know you're feeling the pressure for these officials right now. They're trying to sort things out between Cade Swigert of the Eels and Eric Peavy of the Junior Blades. We haven't seen any penalty box doors swing open here. And now here we go. Frankie Scarpacci and Alex Sanchez, the coaches of the Eels. They're just tearing into this referee for not calling a penalty. And from the looks of it, Matthew Barron gets away unscathed. Meanwhile, Jake Court's taken out of the game due to injury. Frankie Scarpacci still giving it to these officials here. And this is just absolutely bizarre. 14:08 to go in the second. 1-0 Eels lead. And I really wanted to check and see if one of those coaches would get ejected, because Frankie, boy, was he really pushing his luck over there on the bench and not giving up. But everybody stays on the Eels side off to my right. Daniel Morita still has 7 seconds to go until his violation is all said and done. Right circle, plop back up, midpoint for Ewens. Ewens chops it down to the right corner, and now here we go. It's a fight in front of the Eels bench. Justice Shulkin getting in there along with E.J. Halleck. It's one big mob, and now the Junior Blades players are getting into it from the benches. Everybody trying to hold each other back. Everything is broken loose, and now the brawl is breaking out onto the benches. You have players throwing punches. Pinkerton's in there. And you could have seen that one coming a mile away. You can't be surprised by anything at this point. Justice Shulkin, all sorts of fired up. And he's going to the penalty box. And it looks like he was going after Matthew Barron, who gave that hit moments ago to Jake Court, who took him out due to injury. Nick Tigas in front of the Junior Blades benches, really giving it to those Junior Blades, and he's being taken away by the officials to the Eels bench. And now it's Shulkin heading out of the game for a misconduct. And Shulkin, as he heads off, he gets another salute to the Eels fans, and they show him love right on back. And of course, in a situation like that for the Junior Blades, with the brawl breaking out right in front of their benches, that's another no-no. You can't be throwing punches while you're not on the ice, and that can lead to other ejections. Nothing thus far for the Junior Blades. Well, fans will step aside as the penalty confusion gets sorted out. 13:58 to go in the second. 1-0 Eels here on the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. $13:58 to go in the second period. 1-0 Eels lead, as the Eels have 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. And then after that, Junior Blades will have 3 minutes of a power play. 5-minute major going against Camden Hamilton of the Eels. You have a 2-minute minor going up on the way against the Junior Blades, and serving in the sin bin for them as of right now is Thompson. Right corner for Sozio. Sozio in the Eels end zone. Played up top. Dill with a slap shot from the high slot, and taking it straight to the breadbasket is Cole Garver, the Junior Blades netminder. Well, we are very happy and super relieved to say that Jake Court has returned to the game. He came out from the Eels locker rooms and returned to the Eels benches during the break moments ago. He received a standing ovation from the Eels faithful here at Hertz Arena. You remember earlier on, he took a nasty knee-to-knee hit from Matthew Barron earlier on in the game. But he's back in it, and here's a shot from Zebley, one that slices over the goal mouth and back away to the near corner. Now 1 more minute to go of 4-on-4 hockey, but until the Junior Blades head to their 3-minute 5-on-4. Trevor Voida back out to center. Whistles it off to his right side for Zebley. Near side dasher. Now Voida across the enemy blue line, far circle. Guarded up by Lopez. Sauced out in front for Carlisle, and Carlisle gets it up but not out to the far point. Zebley banging it back down around the end wall to the right corner. Carlisle gang in there, banging into Voida. Voida gives it to him right back, and a 2-on-2 scramble on the near end of the goal line. Now Voida, in between the rings, pushes it up for a point for Zebley. He wasn't able to locate it in time, so Zebley back out to center. Now recoils back to the Eels' own ice. Georgie Samadelkin in front of the goaltender Steery. Now forwarded for Dill. Dill near circle, the shot high and way over the glass. And this physical game moves right on here from Hertz Arena. Fans, if you are looking for the most reputable pool service in Southwest Florida, call American Pool and Fountain Service. Serving Naples, Marco, Bonita, Estero, and Fort Myers. With over 30 years of experience, they can handle any job. Call them today for a free monthly service quote. Mention this ad and get 1 month free with a signed 12-month contract. Call 239-537-3026. That number again is 239-537-3026. Eels back to their own zone. Zipping it back into the Eels end zone. It's Sozio. Sozio far circle. Down to the hash mark. Boyd at the goal line. Backhander played on. And Garver takes it with the blocked 5-hole. Halleck pours it in for the Junior Blades. Down to far. Dasher rimmed up the opposing side for Lopez in the left wing circle. And now it's a 2-on-2 for the Eels. Leading the charge is Samadelkin. Far circle. Shot in the goal! Georgie Samadelkin scores right as the Eels head to the penalty kill. They extend their lead 2-0 with 11:22 to go in the second. Georgie Samadelkin took it coast to coast there for the Eels. Split defenders to the low slot and tucked it over the outstretched left pad of Cole Garver. Center ice face-off here for Peavy. Peavy dropping it back for Zimros, center of his own blue line. Zimros goes down the length of the ice. Far corner now for Court. Court rink wide for Zebley. Zebley clearing it down the length of the rink. Keep in mind, Eels on to PK for the next 2 minutes, 5 seconds. Now right circle from Zimros. Zimros back around the net. Far corner for Barron. He's rammed into by DeMeyer off of the left shoulder blow. Now right wing half wall for Adesano. Adesano zipping his way down the ice. Far circle in front of Tom Steery. Poke checked away by Jake Court. And he sips it all the way down to the goaltender Garver. 10 minutes, 30 seconds ago here in period number 2. Eels lead 2-0. As now it's Court in front of the penalty box boards. Intercepted by Zimros. Zimros far circle with a shot. Pad save by Steery. Can't secure it. And the shot goes wide over the crossbar. And the blow of the whistle comes. If there was a time for the Junior Blades to score, that was it right there. With a wide open net, Steery was almost out of his own blue paint and sprawled from post to post. But there was more than plenty of space for Peavy to tuck it in. Had too much mustard behind a right-handed wrist shot from between the rings. And this remains a 2-0 Eels lead, 1 minute, 17 seconds ago on the Junior Blades power play. This is a game which has just seen about everything, and it makes you wonder what else is in store as we now reach the halfway marker of this hockey game. Zebley, enemy zone. Back behind the net he goes. He's got a man on his back, and that man is Lopez. Lopez strips it away from him. Now Lopez gets reinforcements with 58 seconds to go on the Eels penalty kill. Torch to center here for Voida. Now right circle for King. King settles in front for Kotler, and that pass is a mile away out to center. Now it's Dill with a 2-on-1. In front for Zebley. Breakaway shot and a save, along with a cover-up from Cole Garver. Well, the Eels just keep the opportunities rolling, even as they're down a man for the next 38 seconds. That time around, Zebley just whiffed on the backhanded attempt. Couldn't get it over the left pad of Garver. And Garver didn't take any risks. He just held right on for the blow of the whistle. 9:36 now to go in the second. Now right circle. Stewart wins the draw up to the right point for Frizz. Frizz guts it down near end glass for Altieri. Altieri beats out Lopez. Thrown up top, center of the blue line for Sozio. Sozio saddles it down, far corner. Now zipped in front for Stewart, and he's diced away by Eric Peavy to the neutral zone. 2-on-2, and Peavy just zones it on down left wing corner for Halleck. Halleck darts it in front, and Sozio yet again has relief to center. Sozio, he's wrapped around a pair of defensemen, Peavy and Barron, and now it's Barron with an opportunity of his own coming in to the left circle of Tom Steary. Sozio bangs him up against the near end wall, and now it's Peavy right wing half wall. Slap shot down the length of the rink by Ian Frizz as we now get back to 5-on-5 hockey. That is an icing against the Eels. Well, we talked about the Florida Eels Premier Team earlier on in this hockey game. They are in the stands taking this game in. Earlier on this week at practice, they were given the news that they have received an automatic bid to the USPHL National Tournament next month in March. As play rolls on, we'll give you more information in a moment. Up at the far point for Adesano. Adesano dangles his way successfully past Altieri. Steary with an incredible save. And a blow of the whistle. Now it appears a penalty is on the way. An interference call of some sort. And we'll have to see how this all plays out. All sorts of confusion here. Officials just trying to figure out where to even put the drop of the puck. And Corey Altieri slowly skating back to the Eels bench. And we still don't know what that penalty was all about, who's serving it. And yet again, we go into that point of the game where things have just gotten bizarre. It's a penalty shot on the way for the Junior Blades. So now it's all cleared up. It's Colton Adesano with the attempt yet again as he goes up against Steary from right to left. So Adesano looks to get the Junior Blades on the board with this penalty kill opportunity, or make that penalty shot opportunity. And here we go. The whistle blows. Adesano out at center ice, crosses the center of the blue line for hash marks with a shot and a save. Steary kicks down to the right corner, and the Junior Blades stay off of the board. It's 2-0. Tom Steary under all sorts of pressure there, but he came through where his team needed him the most. Shots on goal now 19-12 in favor of the Eels. With this drop of the puck coming for Circle. Quintal looking to get it out of there immediately. Does so successfully. Dude, Mason DeMeyer. DeMeyer across the enemy blue line. Far circle. Chips in front for Swigert. And a blow of the whistle is put on. Boyd got taken down to the ice there by Michael Zimros. Boy, has he been all sorts of trouble today for the Eels. And Boyd wisely skates away, avoiding a confrontation. Far circle. This one nearly cleared onto the Florida Eels bench, and the officials say it went off the blocker of Nahal Van, who's the backup goaltender of this game. Yet again, Nahuel Van, a goaltender who typically alternates with Tom Steary for starts. But Steary has been named a designated starter in between the pipes for this divisional playoff series. We'll have to see if Van gets some more action as we head into the Boston Nationals next month. Assuming the Eels can advance, and they can do it with a win here today once more. puck gets dumped onto the Junior Blades benches for another stoppage. Well, it's the second time in as many years that the Premier Eels will travel to Boston for the USPHL's biggest event of the year. Last time that the Eels sent both of their teams in the national tournament was 2014. Face-off far circle, centered up for Lopez at the blue line, now hacked away by Samadolkin. Eels out to center ice. It's Cade Swigert near glass, down to the near hash and front. Save made, rebound by Boyd, and he couldn't complete the wraparound to the far post. Now it's Cade Swigert far circle with a shot taken high off the glove of Garver and out of play. And if there's one player who can really stand out for the Eels come Nationals, yet again assuming they make it, is Gage Dill. More on his impressive stat line in a couple of moments as the puck is played Eels end zone for goal line. Plastered out in front by Jake Court from behind the net. Now Court center of the blue line. Kotler to his back. In front for the goal! It's TJ Zebley with the centering feed in front, chipping it over the left skate of Garver. 3-0 Eels. 7:06 to go in the second. And the Eels really want to make this thing out of control. They want to make sure that this is the last time that the Eels play the Junior Blades. And the Junior Blades certainly seem a bit deflated right now, to say the least. A little bit of a delay as three officials talk things out at the center ice line. Looks like nothing changes. 3-0 yet again for the Eels. To his own left circle, it's Trevor Voida. Voida across his own blue line to Dill. Dill now taking a 360 in his own ice. Dill up the near boards, out at center, goes low, down to the far corner for Court. Now wedged for circle for Gage Dill, who we will tell you about on the next blow of the whistle here. Zimros picks him off, and it's stashed out to center for Peavy and between the team benches. Now Peavy picked off by Trevor Voida down on the Eels' own near goal line. Picked up the wall, extended out to center. And the Eels keep things going. 6:20 to go in period 2. 3-0 Eels. Voida in front for the goal! Trevor Voida with his second goal in as many games, and he's the next one to light the lamp over the left shoulder and in of Garver that time. It's a 4-goal lead for the Eels. And the Eels have just absolutely taken over. Things are looking very similar to Game 1 this past Friday, where the Eels had a slow start in period 1, but then they dominated in the second. That's exactly what the Eels are doing right here. They scored 1 goal in the first. Voida's tally, that's the third one for the Eels on the middle stanza of play. Now to his own left wing circle, it's Ian Frizz. Frizz chipping it long to the enemy blue line for DeMeyer. He remains on side. Cade Swigert to the far boards. Now to the circle. Scooted aside by Zimros for Adesanya at the center ice line. And from there, DeMeyer takes over for the Eels. Now it's Sozio. Showcasing some stick work. Passes defender Kotler. Yet again, that gets a big reaction from the Florida Eels Premier team in attendance here tonight. Sozio up midpoint for Lopez. Shot and a save made between the rings for Steary. Eventually wiggled out the center by Cade Swigert. Well, Gage Dill, he was recently named the Southern Elite Forward of the Week in the USPHL Elite Division. Dill is the 7th highest scorer in the USPHL Elite League as he entered the day with a total of 77 points. He has scored a whopping 17 points in his past 5 games played. to his own far hash. It's Corey Altieri of the Eels. Through pass for Stewart, and breaking up the one-on-one opportunity was Caleb Carlisle of the Junior Blades. Now it's King the other direction in front of Steary. Forks one on from the near corner, and the blow of the whistle comes as Steary vacuums it up. Ashton King and Daniel Marita exchanging some pleasantries here, and now here we go. Punches are being thrown. That looks like Corey Altieri's in there with Adesano, and now we have a fight out at center with Frizz and King going at it. Two altercations at one time. The Frizz and King scuffle gets taken apart by the officials. Meanwhile, Corey Altieri locked up their big tilt with Adesano. And now those two heading to the penalty box. And this really isn't good for the Eels. If you expect to go to Nationals, you don't want to go into the tournament next month with a load of suspensions. But the Junior Blades are just absolutely frustrated right now, and they're taking it out on the Eels. And now let's see if Frizz is heading off. He is. He's going to the Eels locker room for a misconduct with 4:45 to go in the second. 4-0 Eels lead. And tensions are at an all-time high. And Colton Adesano, the thing about him is that he is the big scorer for the Junior Blades as well, as he got involved in that scrum moments ago. Adesano scored a goal and an assist in Game 1 against the Eels last Friday. He enters the day with a 4-game point streak, and he has registered 34 points in 38 games. And now let's see if this is it for Corey Altieri. He's being escorted out of the sin bin for the Eels. And during this big stoppage for the officials to discuss the penalties, the Eels team is gathered around the benches forming a game plan with head coach Alex Sanchez. Meanwhile, Junior Blades, on the other hand, just kneeling in various parts of the ice rink. Really shows you the two different types of strategies here. We'll step aside for another commercial break and then come back with the verdict on the recent scuffle. 4:45 to go in the second. 4-0 Eels lead here in Elite action. From Hertz Arena in Estero, Florida, you are tuned in to the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. Welcome back to the Florida Eels Broadcast Network, where we have 4:45 to go in the second period of this elite hockey game. 4-0. The Eels lead over the Junior Blades here in Game 2 of this best-of-3 series. Eels lead the series 1-0, looking to finish it all off here against the Junior Blades today. So as we get back from our latest scuffle and delay in the hockey game, it's been revealed that we'll have 5-on-5 continuing from this point. Corey Altieri remains in the penalty box for the Eels after originally we thought he would take a misconduct. Taking a misconduct, however, to the locker room was Ian Frizz of the Eels. Now it's Marita, right point, dipping it down low for Stewart at the goal line. Stewart stashes in front with a shot, save made, and Carlisle is able to dip it out of there to center. It's been a very lengthy second period with altercation after altercation. Now Stewart to the far goal line. Goes in a 360 around the end glass. Pushed up midpoint for Samet Elkin and somehow kept it in without the delayed offside being called. Now it's Samet Elkin left wing half wall. Shot on coming, and it doesn't get anywhere close to the net. Barron blocked it, and Samet Elkin just absolutely rails him at the midpoint. Barron will feel that one in the morning. He's skating off, doubled over. So he goes to the bench. Taking his spot on the rink is TJ Gerard. Samet Elkin, he's just been laying men out all game long. Near circle with a shot and a glove save by Garver. 25-15 are the shots on goal in the favor of the Eels as they get another line change on the way. This one consists of Dylan Chabot, Cade Swigert, Mason DeMeyer, Nick Tigas, and Trevor Voida. Eels fan section, all sorts of lively right now as they have really been able to open their lead here in the middle period of play. It's Kotler near a half wall, roofs it all the way down the length of the rink. Steary puts the left hand up, and his request for an icing is accepted. To the right wing side we go. Eels end zone. Cade Swiger gets in there for the Eels. Jumping in for the Blades is Kotler. Kotler wins the draw. Pushes it up to the midpoint. Voida tries to force it back on in, and he does so successfully. But now the offside is called late by the referee. Face off to the far dot neutral zone in front of the Florida Eels bench. Eels looking into attacking real estate here. Cade Swiger to the far hash. Stops at the half wall. Shot on, and Garver kicks it down to the right corner. Elevated up by Havoc and all the way out to center for Shabolt. Shabolt rink wide for Voida in front of the Junior Blades benches. Now Cade Swiger hustling in with a 2-on-1, but Junior Blades get men in there. Plenty of time to spare. Now Cade Swiger down on the right corner, goes too far up ahead at the point intended for Shabolt. And now Eels own left circle here for Nick Tigges. 2 minutes and a half to go in the second. Eels up by 4 goals. Mason DeMeyer, mid-rink. He's contested by Caleb Carlisle. Carlisle can't keep up with him. And now DeMeyer with a backhander. He was looking for the centering feed for Jake Court between the circles, but yet again to no avail. Now it's Halleck down to the enemy left circle. Samudelkin is there with a fresh new set of wheels, and he goes long down the ice. Halleck rams in to Samudelkin, and Samudelkin minds his own business as he skates off. Now Sozio in front with a shot. Pad save made. Garver remains tough here for the Junior Blades, even with his team down by 4. Now it's Dill far circle. Goes across for Zebley, but it's intercepted and dumped down the rink by Lopez. Not far enough for an icing, and the Junior Blades get there with time. Lopped in front, a close one for Eric Peavy, but Tom Steary able to hop all over that one. Shaking his head no, as to say, not today, sir. 1:35 to go here in the second period, and these two teams need the intermission badly to just get their heads straight and reassess the situation. Left side is Steary we go. PV lops one out in front, taken off of the breadbasket of Steary, and reloaded out the center. Gang jammed up is Ryan Boyd. He was locking legs with Barron down in the right circle of the Eels attacking zone. Boyd wanted a call, but nothing comes from the linesman. Now Cade Swigert, right wing half wall, Eels own ice. Now it's Peavy wrapping around the net up to the near post. Lopez chopping it down, left wing point, and now it's Daniel Morita with a possible breakaway. Right circle in front with a shot, and it's taken off the face mask of the goaltender Garver. Now up at the far point, Morita banks it in, and he couldn't keep it there for long. Now breakaway for King of the Blade, shot and a save by Steary. Net comes off for Steary, and now a penalty is on the way. This goes against the Eels. Adesano just now heading out of the box for the Junior Blades, as he had a misconduct earlier on here in the second. And let's take a look here. Yet again, official is just getting back to play and no talk at the penalty box, but the official had his hand up after the whistle as if a penalty was called. But even then, we're still not able to get back to action as Tom Steary got the puck trapped in his leg pad, so he had to take them off, unwedge the puck, and now we can get back to play. but it's still 5-on-5. You can only assume the official called that one off, but what a weird situation. Yet again, official behaving as if there were a penalty after the whistle. But 5-on-5 we go. It's Samudelkin out at center. Samudelkin batted away by Zimros. Now Stewart is called offside as he zips his way down to the right circle. 20 seconds ago in the second. Marita and Stewart heading off on the line change for the Eels. Out there right now, Camden Hamilton, Dylan Chabot, Mason DeMeyer, Nick Tigas, and Alex Quintal. Tigas out at center ice. It's a red dot drop of the puck near side. Junior Blades with their back to their own zone. Now Junior Blades immediately darted on down to the end zone, but not for long. DeMeyer frees it. Back in the Junior Blades own ice. He's dangled away by Cutler, and that's all she wrote for the second. It was a very lengthy period, but it finally comes to a close. And after 40 minutes of regulation, your score, the Florida Eels 4 and the Junior Blades 0. We'll step aside and come back with the start of period number 3. You are tuned in to the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. We return for the start of period number 3 here in this elite action as the Florida Eels lead over the Florida Junior Blades by the count of 4-0. Fans, for all your real estate needs, contact Thomas Finau Jr. at MVP Realty Associates at 239-910-2869 or visit his website, TomSellsmoreSWFL.com. Eels skating from right to left here in this third period. From left to right moves the Junior Blades. Keep in mind this is game 2 of a best-of-3 series. Eels lead 1-0, and with their 4-goal advantage, heading into the final period of regulation here on this Sunday night, Eels are looking to end it all against the Junior Blades, which would give them a spot in the USPHL National Tournament next month. Had a little bit of a delay on the drop of the puck, but we're finally ready to go. Cade Swigert comes up short against Roland Lopez of the Junior Blades, and now it's Caleb Carlisle shipping it across the center ice line, and he dumps it on into the Eels ice. That's an icing against the Junior Blades. 11 seconds into the third. Well, it's good to see Pavel Demachko back in the arena. He is not in tonight's action for the Eels, but on Friday's game 1, the Florida Eels elite defenseman had a scary situation after he took a puck to the face from the Eels bench. But even though he had to get stitches and go to the hospital, he said he is feeling perfect. Still has those stitches to show as he has a smile on his face. So it's always good to see him back, and glad to see that he is back and better than ever. Yet again, checking out this game from the glass as a scratch. Eels just wanted to keep him out of action just to be on the safe side, have him well rested for the possibility of the national tournament coming up. Blow of the whistle comes here, and this takes us out to the neutral zone. Red dot, far side, Junior Blades with their backs to their own end, and now it's Peavy trying to chip it across the Eels' blue line. Wasn't able to do so successfully. Now backing him up is Matthew Barron. Barron taken down from behind at the right point by Camden Hamilton. And now it's nailed up the opposite end for TJ Zebley. Zebley, rink wide for Hamilton. Hamilton sets it back for Tigas between the rings in front of their netminder Tom Steary. Eels lead 28-17 in shots on goal as we head into your third and final portion of play. Hamilton has it through Pasco underneath his tape. Coming from Nick Tigas at his own far half wall. All the way down the rink this goes in the Junior Blades own end. Played on up to the point for Trevor Voida. Strung out in front. Close play here, and now the net's taken off of the moorings after two players collide right into it. Camden Hamilton and TJ Gerard got involved in a brief shoving match, and they ended up taking the pegs right off of both ends. So a face-off comes to the right side of Cole Garver, the Junior Blades goaltender who has been in this game since the very beginning of it all. Face-off won by the Eels. Immediate shot coming from Gage Dill. Now sorted its way across the goal mouth, but was not banked in by Jake Court, who was right there. Now Dill fires high and dry from the low slot. Up to the right point for TJ Zebley. Behind the net, it's Court. Court stopping at the goal line near side and front with a shot for Gage Dill. And yet again, he couldn't cash in, with Garver being the only man to beat. Now near hash for Jake Court. Court around the end wall, played up to the midpoint, and it goes in between Georgi Samodelkin and Anthony Sozio. Puck sorts all the way down to the Florida Eels goaltender, Tom Steary. And he clears it up the left wing dasher all the way down the rink, where the Eels get another offensive opportunity started up. Near goal line, in front for Zebley, shot, pinballs all around. Now Dill banks one straight to the midsection of Garver, who hangs on for the whistle. Well, the Florida Eels are really showing the fruits of their labor here. The past 7 months of hard work have brought them to this very game, where they are looking to finalize their spot in the national tournament next month. Eels are playing their 49th game of the season when you include the preseason, regular season, and the playoffs, as this is banked off the helmet of Garver, almost tapped in by DeMeyer from the near post. Close but no cigar. Now it's Caleb Carlisle with the dump out the center. Alex Quintal looking for a chance here for Boyd. He connects tape to tape. Far circle now for Boyd. Boyd with a shot, hits the iron, and it's rustled back out to center here for Nick Tigas. Tigas rink wide to the near side boards for Quintal. Quintal centers it for Cade Swigert. Far circle shot on, and Garver yet again hangs on tight. And it's a nice long season, with this being their 49th game and their 7 month of playing on the same team. But it's crazy because if you look at some of the higher levels of junior hockey, the seasons are even longer. Another dump down by the Junior Blades. Caleb Carlisle rung up with an icing. In the North American Hockey League, which is Tier 2 junior hockey, teams play a 60-game regular season, which lasts nearly 8 months from September to April. So while this is playoff time for the USPHL, the North American League won't be done with their regular season until the beginning of April. Their regular season resembles very closely the look of a professional hockey league schedule, especially among the affiliated ranks, the ECHL, AHL, and NHL. Trevor Voida in front of the Florida Eels bench, throws it long, and he was looking for Corey Altieri. Altieri has it pushed in between the skates by Peavy. Peavy to the right circle, and on top of it is Tom Steary for the blow of the whistle. 16-13 to go in the third, 4-0 Eels lead. Fans, we thank you for tuning in to Game 2 of this best-of-3 playoff divisional series between the Eels and Junior Blades. Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play. We appreciate you for bearing with us as I work with half a voice here on the broadcast today, but yet again, great day for hockey. Can't complain, as here in the Forest Circle, once plastered on by Anthony Sozio, kick save on the way from Cole Garver. Left corner for Mason DeMeyer. DeMeyer has it strung out in front, intended for Sozio in between the rings, but King is the one taking it away. And it's also great to see the Eels playing so well. More in a moment. Here's a shot coming from the left circle by Stewart on the breakaway. And yet again, Garver able to come up big to keep it a 4-goal advantage for the Florida Eels. Left point for Camden Hamilton. Anchored to center for Ashton King. Voida beats him out as he retrieves it back in his own zone to the far side circle. Sozio slaps it long for Ashton King on the other end of the rink. And now it's Georgi Samodelkin. Well, the Florida Eels team, with Elite and Premier, they have recently had a bout of the common cold and flu go through their team. And it has been a very tough cold and flu season, no doubt about it, especially when you're around a close pair of teams, which consist of nearly 50 people. Jonah Berriger, he's been out all week of practice. He's been scratched for the series, just to rest up and be healthy. Alec Elenoff was out for game 1, returned today before he received his game misconduct earlier on in regulation. Here's a midsection save on the way from Steery. So you would think with, yet again, the cold and flu keeping some players temporarily sidelined for quite a couple of days, you'd think it would really pick apart this Eels team, but they are acting like nothing is bothering them today, and they have a full head of steam. Tom Steery recently fought off his bout of the flu just in time for game 1 in between the pipes. Now left point here for Caleb Carlisle. Yanks a shot wide off to the right side of Steery. And now it's Alex Quintal. Quintal steers it up the gut for Merida into the Eels attacking zone, and the Junior Blades go all the way back down the rink here with Eric Peavy, who's called for the icing. Junior Blades just look like they're all out of gas right now. Exactly 6 minutes into period number 3, 4-0 Eels lead. Line change on the way for the Eels, consisting of Jake Court, Ian Frizz, Gage Dill, TJ Zebley, and Anthony Sozio. Face off to the far boards. Played up top for Frizz, center of the blue line, and a delayed offside is called against the Eels as he couldn't keep it across. So the Junior Blades have it. Center ice for Carlisle. Carlisle trying to dip it ahead past Dill at the Eels blue line, and Halleck is able to make it happen on the second attempt. Far side boards. Now in between the rings for Gage Dill, taking a 360. And now a blow the whistle is made. Too many men on the ice. Is the penalty being called here against the Junior Blades? E.J. Halleck taking the seat this time around. Perfect opportunity for the Eels to really make things out of control. A 4-goal hockey game, still a game. And now look at this. Anthony Sozio heading to the penalty box as well. So these are coincidentals on the way. As if this game just couldn't get any more bizarre. So let's see how they put this up on the scoreboard. At this point, we'll just have to wait for the PA announcement because that was just bizarre. Yet again, Junior Blades caught with too many men, but then the Eels caught with a violation of their own. And now a breakaway for Dill. Forehander and a goal. Gage Dill under the left hand of Garver, and the Eels lead 5-0. It's their second goal scored on the 4-on-4 with 13:11 to go in the game. Well, there you go. And now we have a change in net for the Eels. Nahuel Vayan coming in for Tom Steery. His day is done. And Vayan, once again, getting a shot in between the pipes for the Eels. Meanwhile, on the other end of the rink for the Junior Blades, it appears that Garver is still in net. Nahuel Vayan clears it up the near side for Voida. Anyway, moments ago, it was a spearing call coming up against Anthony Sozio. Too many men against the Junior Blades. So that sorts out all of that confusion. 1 minute, 3 seconds to go on 4-on-4. Left circle, his own zone. It's Caleb Carlisle up the opposite side. Playing it down low and eventually out to center. Stashed away by Cade Swigert. Carlisle reunited with it on his own near hash mark. Snaps it out to center for Lopez. Lopez goes back for Carlisle. Carlisle whiffs, and the high slot rebounder coming from Lopez. Right circle and a goal for Peavy. as the shutout comes to a close for the Florida Eels. Jake Peavy just banked it in on the far post past the Hall Van and the butterfly position. Eels now on top 5-1. Corey Altieri stuffing it immediately into Junior Blades ice. From there, Zimros takes over on the near half wall. Now right wing for Samuelkin up at a point. Gutted back out the center here for Altieri. Altieri rink wide for Quintal. 11:55 to go here in the third now. 5-1 Eels lead. It's Matthew Barron. Mid-rink. Avoids a big shoulder check from Altieri on the near glass. And now it's Matthew Barron going across for Gerard in front of the Junior Blades bench. Forcing it forward for Barron. Now Sozio out of the penalty box for the Eels. Halleck out for the Junior Blades as we resume 5-on-5. Now it could be a 2-on-1 here for the Eels. Right circle for Morita. Slides it across for Altieri. And Altieri couldn't push it in from the near post. Now it's Alex Quintal. Center ice. Shakes off Lopez, who tried to lower the boom. Now a chance for Stewart. And the right wing half wall, and he's denied. 11 minutes to go here in the third. Eels need to keep it up here. Down by 4. Make it up by 4 for the second time of the hockey game. And now Altieri in a little bit of a boxing match with Zimros. And Zimros, he's been in 3 different altercations today for the Junior Blades. Nonetheless, he has stayed into this one, and let's see how the officials sort this out. Both men heading to the penalty box for roughing. Zimros and Altieri yet again. So more 4-on-4 action coming up. And now the officials still determining how they're going to play this out. They're talking with Alex Sanchez, head coach of the Florida Eels. Junior Blades still have 5 men out there. And for the Eels, it's 4 men. Now TJ Zebley stepping in for the Eels. So it's a power play for the Junior Blades. 5-on-4. As here's Morita near circle. Taps in front for Stewart, and Stewart couldn't get the job done. Regains control in the right corner. Drop behind the net, wrap around for Morita. Couldn't stuff it in. And now it's Stewart to the right circle, taking a 360 up to the point. Stewart goes all the way back in his own ice for Frizz. Frizz behind the net of Nahal Van, who recently came in moments ago for the Florida Eels. Yet again, Eels up by 4 goals. 5-1 is your score. Nahal Van, nicknamed Frenchie by his teammates, getting out there after Steary had himself one heck of a Sunday evening. Now right circle for Morita. Morita drops down Matthew Barron with a shot near post, and it's covered away by Garver. The Florida Eels, one unique thing about their playoff run thus far is that they have went with all blonde hair going back to last week. All of the players dyed their hair blonde to match each other. They have went into the divisional playoffs that way, and they'll keep it that way as they head into Nationals. Here's Boyd. Right circle, trading it back and forth with Cade Swigert. Those two play tag back in Eels' own ice. Voida, right corner, shovels it all the way to center. And from there, intervening is Gerard. Gerard up on the far dasher in between the 2 benches at the penalty box boards. Trevor Voida going back and forth at it with Seth Kotler. Now Peavy going long distance to center. Incomplete pass intended to E.J. Howlick. That's an icing going to the Junior Blades with 23 seconds to go on the Florida Eels PK unit. 9:15 to go here in the third. And I was talking with some of the players about that blonde hair tradition, and they said this is a tradition held all around junior hockey. It's the first time the Eels have done it, however. They said it was either that or everybody grows out beards. And when you're on a team with 16 to 20-year-olds, that's not always going to be a possibility for everyone. So they elected to go with the blonde hair, and it seems like it's really served them well. Far corner, Georgie Samanolkin back in his own ice, goes forward for Boyd. Boyd has a gun to him by Zebley at center ice. Boyd to the far circle. Rashad on the way, doesn't even get to the net, and Boyd crashed into the back of the cage at Garver. Net somehow stayed on. Boyd is still in the net. Now he comes out slowly but surely, and Garver just let him go out with no problems. And that really is good to see with all of the animosity which we have had throughout the course of regulation. A lot of ejections, a lot of scrums. And if the Eels can hold on, this is the very last game of the season between the Eels and the Junior Blades. Junior Blades season will come to a close. And the Eels advance to Nationals. As here's Samanolkin near side, dangles his way on into the far post. And yet again, able to make the shuffle save is Garver. Rebounder coming from Shabolt on the nearest hash marks. And Eels are firing on all cylinders right now. Samanolkin up at the right point. Ben balls at the center. And a duel with Adesano. Adesano swinging his stick left and right in frustration. Very bizarre theatrics there. Now it's Zebley to his own blue line. Goes up to left for Shabolt out at center. Shabolt flicks one high, a slapper from the left point. And Garver robs him on the left hand. 7:24 to go in the third. 5-1 Eels. Near side dasher. And the Junior Blades own ice. Shabolt to the left corner as it anchored over his head by King. Now it's centered out at the middle of the rink for Matthew Barron. Four boards back out for Zimros at his own right circle. One touch pass back out for Matthew Barron, who takes it for a circle over the head of Nahuel Vejan. And out to mid-rink. King forks it back on in down the right wall. Rink wide at the far circle for Anthony Sozio. Adesano drags past Sozio, and now it's Sozio down to the far circle, enemy territory. Carlisle loses it to Hamilton. High slot now, Eels enemy end. Now Matthew Barron, center ice. Goes up the right side for Zimros, near circle with a shot on, and Vejan takes no gambles that time around. 40-22 with the shots on goal with the Eels on top. Corey Altieri is being escorted out of the game. He came straight off of the benches and onto the locker rooms. So it looks like that's the end of the day for Corey Altieri. Surely it was something which was said. It wasn't a matter of a physical act he put out there on the ice, because he was on the bench. An official came over, said enough is enough, and took him on out. As here's Peavy. Low slot backhander on. Rebounder by Howlick gets nowhere in time. And now it's DeMeyer out to mid-rink. Gets tripped up between Zimros and King on the sandwich. Right corner here. Junior Blades with their backs to their own zone. Now Ashton King. Goes to center. Stewart gets out of it alive with a battle against Barron. And now far point for Stewart. Stewart flees it behind the net. 5 minutes, 50 seconds to go here in the third. Eels up by 4. Junior Blades with another 200-foot clear down the rink. Tigas retrieves it in time. Icing is negated. Now near wall for Trevor Voida. Action really starting to slow down at this point as Voida is called offside. DeMeyer was actually the one who crossed prematurely there off to Voida's left on the near wing. And recently has been revealed that the playoffs of the USPHL Florida Division at Hertz Arena will go into tomorrow, as here's a forward-dot face-off out at center. Eels facing the enemy zone as Quintal stacks it in. Well, before this hockey game, the Tampa Bay Juniors Premier Team blew out the Florida Junior Blades to even their best-of-3 series at 1 apiece. So those two will compete in the tiebreaker tomorrow afternoon. It's Hamilton, mid-rink across the blue line. Up the gut he trails. Now right point. Gets it blocked away by Kotler. Shook on down right corner for Gerard. Gerard runs out of running room as Hamilton blocked him up. Elevated back up and out to center. It's Mason DeMeyer. Taking his sweet time down to the final 4 minutes, 38 seconds. 5-1 Eels. At this point, the Eels know that they have this one in the bag. It's just a matter of not doing anything stupid at this point, as here on the near hash, Georgie Samudelkin rings one onto the iron of Garver. Now down to the right corner. Back up for Samudelkin, right point. Shot goes high over the left-hand glove of Garver. And over for Quintal, left circle. Quintal's shot goes wide. Heave to center for King, goes wide. And now it's down to the right corner. Icing was negated. 3 minutes, 55 seconds to go in the game now. Morita to the right circle of his own end, and now there's a big duel for it back there. Near end wall, it's a 2-on-2 scramble. Junior Blades come out of it alive as it's Eric Peavy coming through with it. Now it's DeMeyer, left circle. Cross feed to Chabot, who rings it off of the backboards. And now we have another big scramble down to the right corner. And here we go, folks. It's a fight between Sozio and it appears to be T.J. Gerard of the Junior Blades. Those two throwing blows on the right wing half wall. It is indeed T.J. Gerard of the Junior Blades. Initially, he was roughing up Mason DeMeyer, and DeMeyer was just trying to get away. He wanted nothing to do with it, but DeMeyer was held up. So Sozio raced in there and lunged right into him, and right now the officials are still trying to break them apart. You have officials on the ice right now. That's how intense it has been. So that's the end of the night for Sozio. He heads off, and he gets a salute from the Florida Eels fans. Take a listen. Well, for Sozio, no regrets there. It was all a matter of sticking up for a teammate. And now Frank Scarpacci yet again blasting an official from the benches. Boy, has he had it with the men in white and black tonight. Fans, if you are looking for the most reputable pool service in Southwest Florida, call American Pool and Fountain Service, serving Naples, Marco, Bonita, Estero, and Fort Myers. With over 30 years of experience, they can handle any job. Call them today for a free monthly service quote. Mention this ad and get 1 month free with a signed 12-month contract. Call 239-537-3026. That number again is 239-537-3026. You just heard the roar of the crowd coming from the Eels faithful as TJ Gerard has been escorted out of the game into the Junior Blades locker room. His day is done, and at this point the Eels are trying to finish this game, celebrate your divisional playoff victory, and then head into next week with a clean head. We'll step aside and come back right after this. 5-1, the Elite Eels lead over the Junior Blades, 3:27 to go in the game. You are tuned in to the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. The Florida Eels elite team is just moments away from victory here at Hertz Arena. 5-1, they lead with 3:27 to go in the game. Eels heading to a 5-minute major power play. And now they call a timeout. Very interesting situation here. Just as it seems like the Eels have it all said and done, Coach Sanchez rallies up the troops together. Looks like the Eels just want to stick the fork in the Junior Blades. Yet again, 5-minute major coming up for the Junior Blades. And guilty of that is Colton Adesano. Colton Adesano, he's been taken back to the locker rooms as we have 3:27 to go in the game. And even if the Eels score on the 5-minute major, they still remain up 5-on-4. So the Eels know that victory is imminent, and they want to keep the boys fueled up and focused in the final minutes of regulation. Junior Blades head off of their benches, and they will assemble down at their own right circle where the next face-off will be taken. Eels still gathered around the benches off to the right side of my broadcast position. And here they come. Eels are sending out Stewart, Frizz, DeMeyer, Quintal, and Boyd. Far circle. Ryan Boyd whistles it out to center. Backs up, rink wide for Frizz, he goes in the near glass. Center ice for DeMeyer. Caught up in midair by Carlisle in front of the penalty box boards. And now Boyd to his own right circle. DeMeyer across his own blue line, far end. And now it's Ryan Boyd. Boyd across the enemy blue line, fires a slap shot on. And the glove save is deuced by the Junior Blades netminder Christian Tracy, who came in between the pipes during the break. In relief for Cole Garver. Both Garver and Tracy have seen action in Game 1, and now they both see action between the pipes in Game 2 as it's Carlisle far circle with a shot, and Vayan robs him, closing the 5-hole. 2:40 to go in the game now, and at this point, Eels are just counting it all down. Played up the right wing side for Stewart. Stewart across center, backhander here for DeMeyer. DeMeyer puts the brakes on, left wing half wall, and redirected to center for Peavy. Peavy winds and fires high and out of play over the glass behind Vayan. 2:20 to go in the game. Eels up by 4, and that brings us to this presentation of where are they now in the Florida Eels organization. Today we talk about Robert Sarapak. During the 2015-16 season, he split the year between playing for the Eels and the old Kalkaska Rhinos organization after finishing the season with the USP3 Eels. The forward from Saddle River, New Jersey, made his commitment to play college hockey at Colby College, an NCAA Division III ranked program in Waterville, Maine. Last season, he helped lead Colby College to the NCAA D3 Frozen Four, where they came up short in the semifinal round in a close 4-3 game against St. Norbert. Sarapak is currently competing in his junior year of college hockey with Colby. So he is one of over 230 success stories in the Florida Eels when it comes to bringing kids up to the next level, and that is college hockey. It's Daniel Merida. Goes through the enemy blue line, left side, butted back out the center there by Kotler. Now for Nick Tigas, far circle, his own side now. And the Junior Blades hook it back on through behind the net of Van as Kotler comes cruising in. Center ice, it's Dylan Shabolt down to the final minute and a half of regulation. Far circle, looks like the net came off of Tracy, but he puts it back on by a matter of inches. Sam Elkin from the left wing circle, shot on, taken away by Tigas now, up at the right point. Behind the net for Zimros. Zimros spreading it up the near glass and eventually out the center for Caleb Carlisle. Carlisle in the near circle, shot goes wide of the Hall Van with 1 minute to go in regulation. Eels benches making some noise as they know they are heading on to Nationals come 2 weeks from now. It's Peavy for a circle. Shot goes over the head of Van, 43 seconds to go, and just listen to the noise being made. All the 7 months of work dating back to August, it has come to fruition here for the Florida Eels, and making the chest save is Christian Tracy with 35 seconds to go. Eels getting their last line on of the game. It consists of Stewart, DeMeyer, Quintal, and Frizz. DeMeyer near side, that's the right of Tracy. The puck is dropped. King holds it left corner, raises it to center, and the noise rises yet again. The Florida Eels faithful comes to their feet as the clock continues to rise. Now it's King in his own right circle, darts it down the rink. Van keeps the puck into play with 13 seconds to go. Eels hold it behind their own net, and the dream has come true. DeMeyer down to his right corner, flings it long to center, and ladies and gentlemen, that is your hockey game. For the first time since 2016, the Florida Eels are sending their elite team to the USPHL National Tournament in Boston. The benches come out and mug the goaltender in the Hall Van, who closed it in a split performance with Thomas Steary. And your final score, the Florida Eels 5 and the Junior Blades 1. A lot to be proud of here for this Florida Eels organization. Both Premier and Elite is going to Boston. The tickets are punched, and now we have the handshake line out at center. And with a tense game like this, the handshake lines do seem to be going smoothly. But folks, we'll see you in Boston. It's as simple as that. 2 weeks from now. Next week we will have the schedules released. Merrimack College is the location. And as always, I look forward to giving you the play-by-play on Hockey TV then for the trip up to the Northeast. But until then, folks, this is Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play from Hertz Arena and Estero, Florida. Both Eels teams are headed to Nationals as the Elite squad knocks off the Junior Blades in a 2-game sweep. But folks, have a great rest of your Sunday evening and a great remainder to your weekend. One more time, it's the Florida Eels 5 and the Junior Blades 1 from Hertz Arena in Estero, Florida. This is the Florida Eels Broadcast Network.